Well, look who it is. Hi.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
What time is it there?
It's like 9 o'clock right now.
Is it
Nine.
9 o'clock with the sun up or 9 o'clock with the sun down?
It's the moon.
The moon is out, not the sun.
Yeah.
So it's 9 o'clock
Yeah.
p.m. Do you know a.m. and p.m. what they mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
You do.
Um.
So if I tell
AM is
you it's
like night. AM is like night, and PM is like afternoon and the morning.
You know what? It is confusing because AM and PM change at 12.
Yeah, I know.
And 12 is the middle of the day.
Yeah.
And 12 is also the middle of the night,
Yeah.
isn't it? So
Yeah.
let me
It's a bit
show you.
confusing.
Let me show you. Let me
Uh.
show you outside my window.
Oh.
I
It's
will show
night
you.
outside my window.
What do you see
Whoa.
outside my window?
Yeah, cool. Wow. Cool forest.
It looks like a forest. It looks like a jungle, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's more like a jungle.
It's very much like a jungle, but it's not really a jungle.
I know.
Be-
I saw the
on the
cars going.
that you are really observant. You
Yeah.
saw the cars going by, and now
My dad is watching some YouTube and he said, Ian, you can just attend to this class.
so he's busy doing something else, and you got
Yeah.
to come and spend time with the tutor, and the tutor is happy to see you.
Thank
I
you.
do like talking to smart kids.
Thank
You
you.
and your sister both, because your dad is so smart.
Oh,
It's
thank you.
your dad. He loves to learn, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
He does.
He's coming to America after 1 year. And with me, I'm also coming to America with him.
I think that your family is going to have an exciting time.
Yeah, but
Don't
I'm
you
not
think
going
so?
with my mom and my sister. Sad news for me. Because my sister is going to become doctor and she has to do some medical study.
She does have to do some medical study, and
Yeah.
if you're going to be an astronaut, you will need to do aerospace study, won't you?
Oh, yeah, I do
If
have to do study to become a
if you want to be an
scientist.
astronaut, aerospace is what you will be studying.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, there you go. Aerospace has a similar sound to airplane,
Oh,
but because it has the word space in it, it means
space.
it,
It's in
it
space.
it's
It's
beyond where
outside. It's outside the Earth.
that's right. And the word arrow simply means air,
Air.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it implies flying. Airplanes fly, the space
Arrow.
shuttle
The
fly.
arrow flies. When you shoot the arrow, anything like a tree, it also flies.
When you see the word arrow, it means this kind of arrow means something in the air. It has something to do with air travel, usually. So, if
Yeah.
you're going to be an astronaut, you study aerospace, and your sister wants to be a doctor. She studies medicine,
Oh.
right?
Yeah.
You will learn very important scientific things, and
Yeah. I'm
she will
excited for
learn
that.
very specific scientific things that are different from each other,
Oh.
right?
I need that.
She'll learn how your heart works. She'll learn about how your brain works. She'll learn about the blood in people's veins. She'll learn about what is a broken bone. You, on the other hand, will learn what makes an
About
airplane,
space.
what helps the airplane to get up in the air and then go fly way high in the air. And how would that airplane be able to go even further out into space? How would an airplane go into space? What do you think?
The airplane cannot go into space because it has a height limit, and after that, it does not go upwards. It just
Let me
goes down, down, down.
I'm going to show you a picture, and I'm going to ask you a very important question. Let me go back to here. Let me get back to here. I'm going to swipe this to open. I want to know. Oh, bless you. Did you sneeze?
Yeah.
I heard you. And so I'm going to write something here. And I'm going to ask you if you know what this is. Give me a moment.
Oh, I
Um,
don't know much about America. I mean,
this is
very
not something
short.
about America at all. This is
Oh,
something about what you're talking about. And I'll show you a picture.
about astronauts.
Okay. I want to show you a picture, and I'm going to ask you what this is.
Okay.
Is this,
This is a space shuttle.
is it an airplane?
No, it's a space shuttle.
Wait a minute now. What is it doing?
It's flying to space, and
It's,
it has a United States flag.
it
It's from
does.
NASA, I think.
This is a space shuttle. It was one of the many space shuttles we have, but what is it doing? Think about
It's
it.
it's just going. I think it's going down because if the space shuttle needs to go in the space, it stands like this, like it stands straight. But if it's landing, it goes like an airplane.
Okay. Ah, what word did you just say? What word did you just say?
See this dad's thing. Now, if the space shuttle wants to go in space, it has to stand like this with a fuel rocket.
But what is it doing now? You just
It's
used the word. What's it doing?
Yeah, it's landing right now.
How is it landing? Like what?
It's like landing right now, but its wheels open.
Okay, but you a minute ago you used a word. You said it is landing like a.
Airplane.
Okay. Now, is the space shuttle partly an airplane?
Yeah, it's more like an airplane, but it goes like in the starting it goes like this, but the
Right.
airplane goes
Okay.
like this.
So let me ask you a question.
Hmm.
If you went into space, you could be on something like this that
Yeah,
flies up into the sky and then is just like an airplane in space, right?
yeah. It's like when it goes to space, it is like standing like this, and then it goes
I
to
will show you
space.
a picture. Can I show you a picture?
All right.
I'm going to show you a picture so you can see exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, this space shuttle is going upside in the space
Now,
because it has a few rockets.
answer me a question. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm
What does
always ready.
what shape is the space shuttle?
It's like an airplane, but more like a jet, fighter jet.
You are so right. It is, in some ways, the space shuttle is an airplane.
And it's like the mix of fighter jet and a Boeing 747.
And do you know, many times the men and women who were flying the space shuttle are pilots who fought fighter jets. Did you know?
Yeah, I knew that.
Pilots have very important jobs.
Yeah,
And
they
pilots,
have to be very good at engineering. Wait, I cannot hear you.
you can't hear me at all.
Oh,
Can you
now
hear
I
me
can
now?
hear.
I think
Yeah,
the internet is kind of doing this right now. Okay.
yeah. My
All right.
internet is trash.
So yeah. So a pilot is the person who flies
Yeah,
the
I know.
space
I've
shuttle.
meted so many pilots.
All right.
I
Now,
always meet them.
what do the other astronauts do on the space
They
shuttle? When they're
they
not the pilot, what do they do?
they are the crew who should fix the emergency. Like if there's a small hole in the spacecraft, then they have to repair it. And if there's some electrical problems, they have to fix it because the space astronauts are also good at electricity engineering.
Very good. Here is what all of the other crew are called these. Do you see the words I just gave you?
Um, mission. I don't know. Specialist.
Exactly. All of the other crew, there's a pilot and a co-pilot who are
Yeah,
both qualified to fly
and
the space shuttle.
there's a third pilot also. It's called it's an engineer.
There would be an engineer on board. The
Yeah,
engineer might be also the co-pilot. You're
yeah,
right, because someone has to know about fixing and operating the systems,
yeah.
right?
That is
There's
why.
water systems and air systems, and there is the engine. There are all kinds of systems inside the space shuttle.
Yeah, like
So,
in the airplane, there's like wait, I forgot it. I forgot it.
it's okay. There are on airplanes, it depends on what the airplane's job is. Some
Yeah,
airplanes don't carry passengers, it
yeah,
carries cargo, right?
yeah, I know.
Okay.
And that is why when you ride on an airplane, they ask you to put your phone on airplane mode because it can cause some serious things in the pilot's cockpit. Like they will lose the control from the airport and many more things. And sometimes if there's too many people using the mobile and the airplane mode is off, then the plane can go out of control. The whole electricity goes out.
You need to be really, really careful on an airplane. Now, I want to go back
Yeah,
and I want to talk about the astronauts. Can we talk more about astronauts?
yeah, sure.
Okay. The pilot is an astronaut. The co-pilot is an astronaut. If there's a third person who's an engineer, he or she is an astronaut. The mission specialists are also astronauts.
Oh,
Mission specialists do special things. That's why they're called
mission
specialists.
specialist.
So let me ask you, if the space shuttle goes up to fix a satellite that brings television and cell phone signals to Earth, and that specialist, that astronaut has to get out of the space shuttle and float in space to
Yeah,
fix the
I
satellite.
know. They just tie a rope in the space shuttle and tie themselves with it, and then they go out in the space, and one crew help them, and then they can just fix the issue, and then when the issue is fixed, the other crew can pull them back, and they go back to the shuttle.
They do. Now, let me tell you, let's first of all discuss what the real word for that rope is.
Oh,
NASA and any other space agency would call it a tether.
tether,
Tether. You see, I spelled it
tether.
for you. And
Oh,
watch my lips.
tether,
Watch my lips very
tether.
closely. Tether.
Oh my god, it's funny. Tether.
You did it perfectly.
Thank
Yay!
you.
The tether is a very special, super strong, super long, very durable rope.
Oh,
Just like you said, it's a tether. Okay. So the tether is important because what happens if the astronaut doesn't have a tether?
they can just fly away in the outer space and uh, like they
They
don't.
just float away, right?
Yeah,
Now, do you know what some astronauts wear on their backs when they are
yeah.
outside?
It,
What is that?
it's a AC, and there's a AC because it's very hot and sometimes even very cold, and then they have a lot of oxygen, so they can breathe inside the space.
Okay, you are absolutely right. Let's talk about that for a moment.
Wait, can we
First
talk
of all,
about
first of all, it is always cold in space.
always cold and sometimes on the very, very hot?
If you are at a planet that is hot,
Yeah,
or if you are close to the sun, it is hot. But there is no air in space, and the environment of space is so cold that no human can live
I
in the
know.
cold or without any atmosphere.
I know.
You study
And
atmosphere at school. What is atmosphere on Earth?
it's like the ozone layer protects Earth from the winds of the sun and the
Okay.
radiation.
Okay. So there's some way out in space, at the edge of space, there's an ozone layer. What is where we are? What do we breathe?
Um, Oxygen.
We breathe oxygen in our atmosphere, don't
Yeah.
we? We are not out there where the ozone is. We're here on Earth where the oxygen
Ozone layer is very far away.
it's way up there. And there's all kinds of things out there. Different chemicals and things in the air that is still left that high. Very thin air, by the way. You can't breathe out there. When fighter pilots are flying very high in the atmosphere, they wear special breathing
Yeah,
devices.
I have seen them. They have special glasses also that give them night vision, and they wear special that masks, and it is connected to so many wires, and they stuck to the seat because if they go upside down, so they don't hit their head on the upside of the cockpit.
That's right, because gravity is doing something different that
Yeah,
far away from Earth. Now, read what I just wrote for you and let me hear you say it out loud.
breathing. What is that written?
That's a good word for me to teach you today. Here, listen to me pronounce. Ready? Watch my mouth. Apparatus.
Apparatus.
Beautiful.
Breathing apparatus.
Yes. Now, we're talking about what the pilots wear on their noses and over their mouths. Do you now understand what the word apparatus means?
Yeah.
It means it's a special device. A special device. Now, let me ask you, what do you have on your head right now?
A headphone.
Okay.
Headset.
Do you know what a headset is? Listen, I'll tell you. It's listening apparatus.
Yeah. It's connected with a wire.
There's a wire there. It's part of your listening apparatus. What is this?
Yeah. This is a glass and it has lenses.
These are my eyeglasses.
Yeah.
These are vision apparatus.
You're looking kind of funny from that side. Means your face is looking too big and too small.
Okay, so let me just say again. I want you to understand the word apparatus.
Breathing apparatus.
Your headphone is apparatus. My eyeglasses.
Is my mouse apparatus?
Your mouse is apparatus. It's a device. It controls your computer.
Every matter is an apparatus.
Every device, not every device, many devices, including under the engine in your car. Your car has different apparatus. Think about
so this is also apparatus?
You probably would not call phone apparatus, but what about the windshield wipers on your car?
It's apparatus.
That is apparatus. In other words, it's something made to do a particular mechanical function.
Yeah.
The glasses help your eye. It's a mechanical device that helps your eyes see better.
The things that help and means do a thing for another thing.
Devices with special purposes, sometimes mechanical purposes, are called apparatus.
Oh.
So, tell your father you learned the word apparatus, and the two of you could talk about what apparatus does your mother use to make dinner. Let's think about this. Does she use an oven?
Stove? Yeah, she uses
the
stove. The stove.
Right. What about your microwave oven?
Yeah, microwave also, and an OTG.
You probably wouldn't call your refrigerator an apparatus, but it has a purpose. It keeps your food cold. So I want you to
protects from germs.
Okay. And you tell me again, how do you pronounce the word I just taught you?
Apparatus.
And do you know how hard that word is for people to pronounce sometimes?
Yeah, it's kind of hard. I cannot also speak it properly.
The reason why it's difficult sometimes is because it has 4 syllables. You know what syllables are, don't you?
Nope.
Apparatus. 4 syllables.
Oh,
Tutor. 1, 2. Tutor.
tutor.
2 syllables.
Oh, I get it. In which you divide the word, like my mobile
Cambly.
camel.
Cambly. How
It
many?
has
How
two.
many?
It
2
has two.
syllables.
Yeah,
Okay.
2 syllables.
Sometimes this is why the word apparatus is difficult for people to pronounce. It has 4 syllables.
Yeah, I get it. Like long
Okay.
words are very difficult to pronounce.
Sometimes you don't know which syllable you stress. Do you know what
Yeah.
I mean by stress?
No.
Apparatus.
I didn't get it.
Apparatus.
Okay.
The 3rd syllable is the stressed syllable.
Stressed. Oh.
You stress ra.
Oh, you
Apparatus.
you stretch it.
You emphasize it. You stretch it. You make it more. It's an important syllable. Is the 3rd syllable. That's
Okay,
why
I get
words
it.
like apparatus are so difficult to pronounce.
Alright.
Right? Okay.
Yeah. Can
Now
we talk about the suit of astronaut that
I
they
want to
wear?
go. I want to go back, and I want to finish talking to you about the tether and the breathing devices and what is on the astronaut's back.
Oh,
Okay.
wait.
Remember when we were.
Did you know that astronauts' white suit protect them from sun, solar winds, and cancer?
Because it protects them from the rays of the sun.
Yeah, and heat also because white reflects.
Ultraviolet light and that
Yeah,
sort of thing that can harm your eyes and your body.
they
Their
have
bodies
very good
have to be
sunglasses.
protected. Yes, they do. They have to be. They wear helmets with 2. I think there
Yeah,
are 2 parts to the helmet to give them
yeah.
safety.
One is a normal one. The other one is a sunglass.
Okay. Let's go back to the word tether. We
Okay.
were talking about when an astronaut who is a mission specialist leaves the space shuttle for a reason to go out into space.
Yeah,
He's
to
wearing
fix
all
everything.
much more special protection outside than he needed inside, right?
Yeah,
And one of the things he has for protection is the tether that keeps him from floating away.
yeah.
Sometimes the astronauts who go outside can't have a tether because they're going to do work with the robot arm, which is apparatus, by the way. The
Oh,
robot arm
apparatus.
is the robot arm is that big metal. It's like a big metal crane that comes out. The space shuttle opens, and the big metal arm comes out, and it's huge. It lifts heavy weights. It grabs
That's
satellites.
kind of horror.
It's huge. It often needs to have someone work on it. And if you're trying
Yeah.
to fix something in space, do you want a cord, a tether floating all around you? No. What
No.
happens if you accidentally cut your cord? Oh no.
Oh no, that would be very bad.
So, for when there is a mission specialist who goes outside to do repair work,
Yeah, like if there's a fire going on,
if
like
they need to fix the tiles or they need to
fire
fix
cannot
the robot
fire
arm,
cannot survive inside space because there's no oxygen, and fire also needs oxygen.
okay. All right, stop there because now we're going to talk about what does an astronaut do if he doesn't wear a tether?
He will float away
All right, but
and outer space.
there is a power pack they wear. I want to talk to you about that
Oh, a
pack.
jetpack.
It's a jetpack.
Yeah, it's a jetpack.
What does the jetpack do?
It's like it. It is like a fighter jet's back engine. It just make you go which direction you want to go.
It propels the astronaut in the direction he wants to go.
Yeah, like in swimming, which every direction you want to go, you just move yourself in that direction only.
You can use your hands or your feet, can't you, to turn your body when you're swimming. But your hands and your feet in space will not help you at all.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. So
That
the
it's not
jetpack.
like water.
Okay, I'm gonna have you read the sentence. Are you ready? This is what a jetpack does.
It propels an astronaut in the direction he or she wants to go.
Exactly. So sometimes when an astronaut goes outside the space shuttle or the space station, you know about the space station, don't you?
Yeah, I know.
Those
The
astronauts, those crewmen come outside their living space
the
to do
SS
repair.
SS.
They wear jetpacks just to make sure they can get back
Wait,
to the spaceship.
wait. I'm just searching something. F-O-M. Hello. Oh,
Yes,
hmm.
I'm
I
waiting for
was
you. What were you doing?
I was just typing something on the Google.
Okay, and what were you? Was it something for our conversation?
Yeah, the full form of short form of the International Space Station. It's ISS. Wait,
The
yeah,
International
ISS.
Space Station. Very good.
I knew it, but I forgot it, the name.
Okay. All right. So the jetpack has several important purposes. It helps the astronaut move in directions
But wait,
he or she needs to
the
go.
jetpack produces fire that makes the human go in the direction. But there's no oxygen in space to make a fire. Then they use
It's
propeller.
actually, so it's not really fire that's coming out, but there is some fuel that is creating force that moves the astronaut the other
Wait a
direction.
second.
It's
I
like a car engine.
oh,
It's
but
like a little tiny car engine on his back that
wait.
helps make him go.
I have a question
Yes.
about how does the space shuttles and rockets go in space with the rockets if there is no oxygen to produce the fire?
You know what? You're going to get to a point where I don't know the answer to some of these questions because I am not a rocket scientist. I do know a lot about rockets because as I told you when we first met, I live so near to Kennedy Space Center that I have learned a lot about space flight by being so close to Kennedy Space Center, right?
Oh,
I'm going to this is here. There are several reasons the jetpack is important. You can read the first two.
um, he it helps the astronaut move in the direction he or she needs to go. It helps the astronaut to move faster or slower.
Okay. And there's one other thing. This is really, really important. It can save the astronaut's life
Yeah.
because many times there's a jetpack and a tether.
Oh.
And the reason the jetpack
Wait,
is there
if you
is
accidentally use the
if that's right. If you get separated from your tether for some reason, you have a way to get back to the ship.
but what if you hit your head in the space station?
There may be a time when that happens and the astronaut's life is lost. Let me ask you one more important question before we go. I said that the jetpack helps the astronaut move in a direction he or she wants to go. Why did I say he or she?
I don't know.
Can an astronaut be a girl?
Yeah, they can.
And it could be a boy.
Yeah.
So the proper thing to say is this jetpack helps the astronaut go where he or she wants to go.
You can just directly write a human. It would be both.
And there is real no way to say it without saying he or she. So that's why I use proper grammar, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
proper
I
grammar.
want you to tell your father that you learned apparatus and
apparatus.
have him talk to you about apparatus in your home. Okay?
Okay.